So today we will take up the topic the Sino-Indian relation and the escalation in the border. Okay. The building tensions in Sino-Indian border is okay. So Sino-Indian relation has underwent many changes. In the post-independent period, India and China are friendly countries. Okay. So if you think in the post-independent period, okay, it is the Hindi Chinni Bhai Bhai. We have signed the Panchashila agreement. We offer China the UNSC permanent seat. Okay, this is, and we supported the communist government there. The communist government in China so was supported by India. But China has played mischievous role with India. While we are so close, so China stuck from behind. Okay. Okay. So, since the Chinese aggression, Indo-China war, the relation with the two sides have been completely in disorder. The major issues, if you consider the two sides, are major conflict are the border dispute, okay, river water dispute, trade dispute, staffel visa dispute, support to Pakistan, opposed to Indian membership at UNSC and nuclear supplier group. Okay. Tibetan issue, conflict over Arunachal, okay, veto against Indian proposal at UNSC on terrorism. These are the disputes that are continuing with the two countries since so many years. But the recent problem since the Doklam. So first it started at the Doklam, then Golwan, okay, and the present escalation of the Tawang region. In December 9, 2022, India and China troops clash in the Yangtze region. Okay, they okay. Along the India-China border, the confrontation in Tawang was the most serious skirmish with the two sides since the Galwan Valley clash in 2020. Before Galwan, they met face to face at Doklam. Okay, so Doklam is situated at the tri-junction of India, Bhutan, and China. Okay, but when the Chinese army came towards Doklam, so Indian army marched. Okay, Indian army marched. And that led to a largest standoff. But fortunately, at the end, China army has to retreat. The same was repeated after some year. Okay. So the present crisis, even at the Galwan, where the Indian forces are killed by the Chinese attack, okay, still India shows utmost restraint on this issue. But the present standoff is again brought the conflict between two sides to new level. The confrontation in Tawang was the most serious skirmish between the two sides in the Galwan Valley clash in 2020. The Australian Strategic Policy Institute has found that the skirmish that took place in December was aided by new road infrastructure on the Chinese side, part of rapid infrastructure development by China along the border in this region, allowing access to key locations on the Yangtze Plateau more easily than a year ago, because in the last 1 year China is able to do a lot of massive infrastructure building, especially road building activity in the region, to make it easier on the part of its soldiers to access the area. Fine, because the difficult terrain, it was not possible on the part of so China has started constructing massive infrastructure. So that has facilitated it from easily reaching over there. It became quite easy to reach from the through the new roads built by it. The new road building led China to access the region quite easily. Okay. This region quite easily. And as they are able to reach fast, so this led to increased Chinese interference or infiltration to the Indian side. The region of the present standoff between the two. So if you see geographically, location wise, this the region. So this is the ridge. So this is where the confrontation is right now. Because those will be at the top will have a close visibility over the what is going on below. Higher altitude location give advantage, and this advantage is right now being China is right now trying to take this advantage. Fine. Okay.
आज आपन चैप्टर 15 रे अछि नेशनल एंड सोशल इशू तापर स्टैटिस्टिक हबनी सर पहले छुट्टी जन पळे आसी क्वेश्चन जन पठे दे सर आपन हां सर चैप्टर में सुन देखिए आज कोन अछि कोला मैसेज दोनी पिला पढाबो चैप्टर
मैसेज दे दे
चैप्टर को अपन क्लास जान तो चैप्टर
सेकंड क्लास दे दे
आगे
हम क्या करना जणे दो सर देले ड्यू टू ऑनर रीजंस क्लास में पोस्टपोन ले जणे तो satellite imagery the ASPI examines the terrain which the clash took place along the Indo-China border. The tens of thousands of Indians and Chinese troops continue to be deployed. Thousands of Indian troops and Chinese troops are deployed in this area. Okay? And the clash took place because China is able to reach this area because they are able to build good infrastructure, especially roadway to connect. Why Tawang? Tawang is a strategically significant Indian territory wedged between China and Bhutan. The region's border with China is a part of the de facto but unsettled Indo-China border known as the line of actual control. Within Tawang, the Yangtze Plateau is important for both the Indians and Chinese militaries. With its peak at over 5,700 meters above the sea level, the plateau enables visibility of much of the region. That is why this plateau is important because its higher altitude location make it most suitable for visibility of what is happening below the ground. Okay, because that will facilitate the troops position in the higher altitude to gain supremacy over the troop in the below region. Okay, this is the situation. That is why the clash between Indian troops and Chinese troops has its significance. Okay. Visibility makes the Indian Army stationed there to advantageous position, which is unbearable for China. Crucially, India's control of the ridge line that make up the LSC, line of actual control, allow it India is constructing an all-weather tunnel through the pass. Crucially, India's control of the ridge line that makes up the line of actual control allow it to prevent Chinese overwatch of roads leading to the Sela Pass. A critical mountain pass that provides the only access in and out of Taiwan. India is constructing a all-weather tunnel through the pass due to be completed by 2023. However, all traffic in and out of the region along the road will still be visible from the Yangtze Plateau. That is why the importance of this plateau for both the sides. But late to December 9 class, India's defense along the plateau consists of a network of 6 frontline outposts along the LSC. They are supplied by a forward base about 1.5 kilometers from the LSC that appears to be approximately but line side. Fine. So that is the major region for the standoff. In addition to this forward base, there are more significant basing of Indian forces in valley below the plateaus. Although Indian forces occupy a commanding position along the ridgeline, it is not impregnable. Although the Indian forces occupy commanding position, yet it is not impregnable. So anyone can enter. The access road leading from the larger Indian base are extremely steep dirt tracks. Satellite imagery shows that these roads are already suffering from erosion and landslides due to their steep grade, environmental condition and relatively poor construction. Because India has built this road in an expeditious manner, so the quality of construction so at times has not been given that focus, that has resulted in not ensuring the quality or strength of the road. While China's positions are lower on the plateau, it has invested more heavily than the Indian military in building new roads and other infrastructure over the past year. As China started construction later phase, so China built the roads and infrastructures in a more stronger manner. In a more strong manner, India has built it. So China has built it. What is much better than the roads built by India. The Indian roads are going through erosional activities because quality was not there. India hurriedly built it, has not invested that much. Just built the road so the troop can be moved to the higher altitude areas. But China, as it invested in strong the Indian outpost, Indian forward base, the access road 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the biggest access road of the plateau. This is what how they go, and it's the Indian post all over the valley. In addition to this forward base, there are more significant basing of Indian forces in valley below the plateau. Although Indian forces occupy a commanding position along the ridgeline, it is not impregnable. The access road leading to the larger Indian base are extremely steep dirt tracks. While China position are lower on the plateau, but China has invested huge amount in creating this infrastructure, for which its roads are strong, leading to faster heavy movement of Chinese forces and their military equipments. Fine. Advantage for China because they are able to build strong roads and for which they have invested much more than what India has invested. Hello. କ୍ଲାସ୍ରେ ଅଛି ମୁଁ ଏବେ ରାତି 9ଟାରେ ସରିବ କ'ଣ କହୁଛ?
ବିପୁ ସାର୍ ଅଛନ୍ତି। ବିପୁ ସାର୍ ଖାତା ଦେଲେ କଥା ହେବେ।
କ୍ଲାସ୍ରେ ଅଛି
ଆପଣ ଟିକେ
ଯାଉଛି।
ହଁ।
କ'ଣ ହେଇଛି? କ'ଣ ମୁଁ କ୍ଲାସ୍ରୁ ବାହାରିଛି କ'ଣ ମୋତେ ତୁ କ'ଣ ଭାବୁ କି ତୋ ସ୍ଲେଭ୍? ଆଉ ଅର୍ଡ଼ର କ'ଣ ଦେଉଛୁ? ଆଉ ମୁଁ ଶନିବାର ହଲଚଲ ଦେଇପାରିବିନି ହେଲା, ରାତି 9:30 ପୂର୍ବରୁ ମୁଁ ଫ୍ରି ହେଇପାରିବିନି। କିଏ ଆସିକି ପଳେଇଲେ ତମେ କ'ଣ ମୁଁ ପଳେଇଯିବି ନା କ'ଣ? କାହିଁକି ପଚାରିବୁ? ରହିଲେ ମୁଁ ବଢ଼ିଯାଉଛି ବେଶୀ, ଯେତିକି ସେତିକିରେ ରହ ହେଲା। The skirmish that took place between China and India on December 9 on Ansi Plateau was headed by the new infrastructure developed by China. Strategically, China has compensated for its tactical disadvantages with the ability to deploy land forces rapidly into the area. China is more and more rapidly deploying the forces in the region. Fine. So, enhancing its infrastructure capability and deploying more forces. This is the class area. In small skirmish, the PLA remain at the disadvantage because more Indian troops are situated on the commanding ridge line that make up the LAC. But in a more significant conflict, the durable transport infrastructure and associated surge capability that the PLA has developed could prove decisive, especially in contrast to the less reliable access routes that Indian troops could be required to use. Recent developments around Galwan and Guangzhou have shown that where there is a political will, tense situation along the LAC can be disengaged with the involvement of the both sides. In this area, successful redeployment to position back from the LAC has greatly reduced the risk of conflict. So after a long standoff, negotiations at the military level, okay. On the Yangtze Plateau and the eastern sector of the India-China border, the opposite is occurring. December 9 class is part of the pattern of Chinese troops continuing to attempt to change the status quo along the LAC. Fine. So are they want to change the status quo in the LAC? So the class took place because it's not Indian aggressiveness, rather it is the Chinese aggressiveness. So they want to take over some areas inside the Indian territory in the line of actual control. That led to, which was because of, okay, because so they are boosted by the massive okay. So India's pace of infrastructure development in the northeast states of Andhra Pradesh, where Tawang is located, has also accelerated since the class. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh inaugurated multiple infrastructure projects in the state, which he credited as the enabling factors behind India's troops' success at stopping an intrusion at the border on December 9th, 2022. Fine. So China has started building much infrastructure in this area. What led to this? It is because of massive infrastructure built up by China. Okay. In this region. So Chinese troops get easy accessibility, and the easier accessibility made them to behave in a bullish manner. The troop movement became easy, became faster. They are able to move heavy machineries, heavy vehicles, armed vehicles. Okay. So the advantage enjoyed by India being located in the higher altitude is being challenged by India, being challenged by China through the massive new infrastructure creation. It is a Chinese strategy to build infrastructure by which it will be able to make its military movement faster, easier, and stronger without coming under the okay. This is what the skirmish that took place between China and India on December 9th. The Yangtze Plateau was aided by the new infrastructure development in the area. Okay. Salam TV. Okay. China has compensated for its tactical disadvantage with the ability to deploy land forces rapidly to the area. Fine, because India is located in the higher altitude, it was enjoying advantage. But the massive infrastructure creation by China has facilitated faster movement of more Chinese troops to the area to challenge the Indian advantage there. And this new infrastructure has enhanced the Chinese mood to again start the violation. This intrusion and previous clashes with the Indian government claimed the Chinese troops provoked likely serve to further the knowledge of presence of Chinese troops immediately adjacent to LSC. India's space of infrastructure development in the northeast states of Andhra Pradesh, where town is located, has also accelerated since the clash because India realized that to counter China, there is a need to go for more infrastructure built up in the area, especially Andhra Pradesh. So number of infrastructure projects have been inaugurated by the defense minister in the area. China's rapid infrastructure development along the border has created an escalation trap for India. Because this infrastructure built up by China will make it or take it to a position of advantage. Fine, because so is difficult for India to respond to this new reality without being seen as escalating the situation. It is also difficult for it to unilaterally de-escalate without strategic concessions that would endanger its position. India's response has been to increase its vigilance and readiness along the border, including surveillance. It is not only the presence of more troops, but surveillance is most important. Vigilance is more important. Remaining alert is more important because always more and more troops cannot be deployed to handle a particular situation. Troop deployment will be there, but beyond that is what is required is that keeping vigilant eye on the enemy will be to some extent check their bid to infiltrate. That is what. Okay. This need to be certified. So it is also difficult for it to unilaterally de-escalate without strategic concession that would endanger its position. India's response has been to increase its vigilance and readiness along the border, including surveillance. So India need to strengthen more surveillance. Fine. That is the requirement. So it is not only the need is not only for strengthening the military but also intelligence, awareness, screening, all need to be done so we can counter the dragon in a more proactive manner. That is what is the ideal step that can be taken by India for this particular issue. Why? Other issues still there, but this issue need to be solved in a more proactive manner. All as large number of Indians and Chinese outposts continue to compete for strategic operational tactical advantage at the border, propelled by new infrastructure, it is important to pursue non-military and multilateral measures in parallel to reduce the risk. Okay. To peace and order in the Indo-Pacific. Regional government must pay greater attention to clashes on the Indo-China border. Continued escalation, including the potential of more serious clashes along the LAC, would become a major driver for border tension in the Indo-Pacific. India-China conflict should not be escalated beyond this, and it should be diffused not only by the military of the two countries, other partners, other stakeholders must use their good offices to de-escalate the tension between the two sides. Fine. That is really the need of the hour, and government at the government level and also at other multilateral level must Okay. This is what is the need of the time. So thank you for being with us to know about the topic. We will continue to give such topics frequently every week. Thank you.